Welcome back to the show. In this episode, I talk about wires, and a lot more wires. So let's get started. Okay, so welcome back to today's episode of What the Cap. So I'm starting the first episode with a topic that is not spoken of that often, at least daily. I'm starting off with wires. So being a hobbyist, I've used more than 100 kilometers wire for sure. And I've also used cheap low-cost wire, thin and thick wire, larger than ever wire, non-copper wires and so on. But until recently, I did not know, that is, I did not learn that wire material and diameters actually matter, which is a bit stupid. It took me over a year and a half to learn about it, I'd say. So thin wire can be used for general applications like for Arduino-based circuits, and thick core wires can be used for these high voltage circuitry like what we do in houses, and high current applications and more. So let's talk a bit about the material. Wires can be formed and purchased with multiple exterior coatings, somehow PVC, silicone, no coating or thin copper coating, and I just hate them. So let me just tell you more. If you buy the wire for cheap from websites, questionable sites as well, they probably have a PVC based coating. These wire coatings melt and stink when they overheat, especially when you solder. So I don't recommend that you work with such wires as much as you can. The best type of wire would be silicone coated ones, since these do not melt or stink when they come in contact with a soldering iron easily. And the last one is the copper layered wires, which have a very thin layer of I believe it's wax, but I exactly don't know, so I'm not going to tell that. But they do have a thin layer of insulation on them, which must be removed with a blade or something like that. And these are usually found in speakers, metal detectors, and anything that involves induction, transformers, and more. But there are chances that you will use it very rarely. Now, is using a silicone coated wire necessary? Not at all. It's based on your use case. And I would highly suggest that you choose accordingly. Okay, so let's talk about circuits for a while, since it's circuit time. Pre-amplifiers is what I'm going to be talking about. I wanted to use a condenser microphone for my mobile, basically for a useless reason. So I hooked up a condenser capsule to an AUX cable, and it did not work. I realized that the pre-amplifier was necessary. Very sad, I don't know, at least for me. So I took a BC547 NPN and some capacitors and a few resistors and a small 3-volt power supply and built it. And guess what? It works. So I will release all of the files and the circuit diagram with an assembly video soon on my BMC page and later on my YouTube page as well, before the next episode airs. And with that, the circuit time comes to a close. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about these preamplifiers. Not only that it works for my use. Basically, if you were to buy any kind of lavalier mic online, it will usually have a preamplifier in it, which must be powered. If not, it won't work. There are quite a few videos explaining how a preamplifier works on YouTube, so I do suggest you check it out. And alright, so I'd like to say that you can send in your own questions to me via the form in my website asccrazy.in, and I'll pick the best ones there and respond to it here. And I do hope that you enjoyed. And with that, the very first episode of What the Cap comes to a close. So thank you for listening, and I'll meet you all next time. Goodbye.